Coach McVay, can you give us 15, 20 passes?
He like, even said that when he sat down.
I will have no problem doing that, so don't worry about that. But I can't tell you how many times I've gone back and thought about what happened at the end of the first half, and I'm still trying to figure out I don't know. I don't know.
The thing that going back to it, and I understand Aaron Glenn was giving us his opinion, that when it all came down to it, and it was fourth down, he didn't want to go for it and give the ball back. So what you should do is take time down and try a Hail Mary at the very least, not just walk off the field. Your questions emanated from the play calling just after the fake punt. You just made commitment, so you might as well get aggressive with your quarterback.
Well, all of it. I mean, they passed to get a first down on the first part of the drive and get out past the 30.
Right.
Like, it's go time. Like, this is what you do, especially, there was a lot of things.
But I mean, and we'll just hit this and then move on to the present of week 7. Are the Jets afraid of what Justin Fields might do if they let him loose and throw, or they don't have trust in him, or
that's what it felt like to me, was that they were afraid to throw the football and they were almost happy to be in that game. And so the mentality for me wasn't, let's try to score and take the lead and then we can double up. It was, let's not give the ball back to Denver. Like, that to me was how they played that whole thing. And, I actually tweeted today because I've been thinking a lot about this whole scenario. And,
yes.
And just the idea that I wonder, I always played for offensive coaches. And so for me, their mentality was always, let's score, let's be aggressive, let's attack offensively. And I wonder if you're a defensive head coach, if your mentality is so opposite of that, where it's like, I know defense. I'm all about defense. Let's keep this game close and let's win it with defense. And, you wonder if Aaron Glenn in this early stage of his coaching career if that's what it's about. Like, oh, we're in a game. It's close. Let's not do anything on offense to screw it up. Let's just keep it close, and then we'll find a way to win it with one offensive possession, or we'll find a way to win it on defense because they took the lead with a safety. And you just wonder if the mentality, because of a defensive background, is more, let's just play it close to the vest. I was even referencing like Tony Dungy. Like, they beat we beat them to go to the Super Bowl 11-6.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times I thought, man, if that defense had some semblance of an offense, they would have won so much more than they actually did. But they never did. And everybody's like, well, they didn't have a quarterback. Well, was that by choice? Could they have gone out and gotten a quarterback to do something? But I just wonder sometimes if those coaches just say, we're happy to be in a muddled up 17-16 game and win that way, instead of putting the ball in our offense's hands and letting them either win it for us, or, maybe more importantly, as they think about how the offense could lose it for them.
Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, now the Eagles have lost 2 in a row. What do you think? Any concern here now? What you saw maybe from Thursday Night Football last week?
I'm concerned, is for me, just because I don't know what their identity is anymore. Is that I still think they're a good team on defense, but it's like week to week where they try to run it, and then we're going to come out this week and we're going to throw it all over, and then we're not really good at either one of them. I mean, I thought I heard today that Saquon hasn't had a 20-yard run all year long, where that was a staple. I mean, talking about we're going against, we're going to watch the Rams this week. I mean, he had 12 of those against the Rams last year.
Yes.
And so I just don't know what their identity is, and still think they have good players, still think they can be a good football team, but they've lost their identity. And when you lose your identity and you don't know what you hang your hat on, that to me is when I start to worry about a football team.
Okay. So how does that happen? How does a defending Super Bowl champ with such a clear
Rams versus Jaguars. 3 must-know storylines for London game on Sunday. NFL.com. The final London game of the 2025 NFL season offers fans in the UK an enticing matchup between two 4-2 squads in the Rams and Jaguars, but Juval's 4-2 record marks the first time the franchise has entered an international game with a winning record in 14 contests. And Sunday's affair is just the fourth time two teams with winning records will square off outside the US. The Rams have been a postseason staple under head coach Sean McVay, while the Jaguars are looking that level of sustained success under new HC and former McVay protege Liam Cohen. Sunday's game at Wembley Stadium should be a good benchmark for two teams with playoff aspirations. Point 3 must-know storylines. 1. Rams look to exploit Jags pass D, but without Nakua. The secret to the Rams offense is no secret. Third-year star Puka Nakua leads the NFL in receptions, 54, and is second in receiving yards, 616, despite being limited to 2 catches for 28 yards in Week 6 due to an ankle injury. Nakua, however, has been ruled out for Sunday, and the Rams' ability to adapt without a player who accounts for 36.6% of their passing attack, per NFL research, will go a long way to determining who wins. Fortunately for LA, Matthew Stafford's number 2 option ain't too shabby. Veteran Devontae Adams, who signed a 2-year deal in March, is more than capable of shouldering the load on his own. While Adams had a season-low 39 yards last week, he'll have a favorable matchup against Jacksonville's 30th-ranked pass defense, which could help get him and Stafford on track this season. Adams' 55 targets ranks 7th in the league, but Stafford is completing just 47.3% of his passes when targeting Adams, and his 29 incompletions toward the vet are the most for any duo. Jacksonville recently tweaked their secondary when they sent corner Tyson Campbell to Cleveland for CB Greg Newsome too, but the early returns were not inspiring, as Sam Darnold torched the Jags for 295 yards and Jackson Smith-Njigba ripped off 162 yards and a TD. Plus, standout linebacker Devin Lloyd, who's off to a career start, did not make the trip to London due to a calf injury. This could be a day for Stafford and company to show they're not a one-man passing attack. Related links and for Week 7 picks. Will Cowboys and Colts pull off upsets? Rams or Jaguars in London? Jaguars coach Liam Cohen downplays any jet lag edge over Rams, who arrive Saturday in London. NFL QB rankings, Week 7. Josh Allen ousted from top 3. Jackson Dart makes biggest jump 2. Jags look to play clean football after sloppy Week 6. The Jaguars lead the NFL with 14 takeaways this season, a figure that has helped mask a growing trend of uneven play that came to a head last week in a loss to the Seahawks. Jacksonville had 10 penalties for 76 yards, 1 flag that negated a long TD, that day. Trevor Lawrence was sacked 7 times. Brian Thomas Jr. continued to battle drops, and Cam Little missed a field goal and an extra point. With no takeaways to counter their self-inflicted gaffes, the Jags lost by 8 to Seattle. While the Rams are one of 2 teams to have a giveaway in each game this season, per NFL research, LA also boasts an opportunistic D with 10 takeaways, 3rd in the NFL. Playing a clean game should have been a point of emphasis this week after Liam Cohen described his team as an undisciplined operation. Protecting Lawrence against a stout Rams led by Byron Young, 2nd in NFL with 7.5 sacks, would go a long way to righting the ship. Point 3. Hunter needs to become more of a focal point. It would be unfair to call the Travis Hunter experience underwhelming through 6 weeks. What he's attempting to do is unprecedented in modern football, after all, but impact plays have largely been absent from the number 2 overall pick. Hunter has played 241 offensive snaps and 142 defensive snaps, per next-gen stats, fulfilling his promise as a two-way player. Apart from a 44-yard catch in Week 5 against the Chiefs, however, Hunter hasn't shown off the explosiveness that made him a two-way star and Heisman Trophy winner in college. That could change this Sunday, as Liam Cohen told reporters on Wednesday that they are going to prioritize ways to get him the ball on offense. Scheming him open is part of it. Number 1, Cohen said, via ESPN.com. Our job as an offensive staff is to make sure we are putting him in a progression and putting him in the position to be number 1 option, a little bit more often in some ways. Hunter has just 20 receptions on 31 targets for 197 yards, yielding to number 1 duties to Brian Thomas Jr. with Thomas going through sophomore growing pains this year. A change in approach makes sense for Juval after a season-low 12 points and 273 yards last Sunday. Rams Week 7 injury report. Jaguars Week 7 injury report related content. You unable to interact with this content due to your cookie consent choices. You can enable cookies in the Ravens climb in 1 power ranking despite 4-game. Skid editorial assistant experts remain confident that the Ravens can turn things around despite a 1-5 start. Baltimore moved up 18 spots in Pro Football Focus, PFF, power ranking, skyrocketing from number 25 to number 7. PFF's rankings take into consideration player and team level grades, performance from past seasons, and strength of schedule, among other factors. PFF gives the Ravens a 39% chance to make the playoffs and a 3% chance of winning the Super Bowl. With Lamar Jackson expected to return following Baltimore's bye, pundits are optimistic that Baltimore can find its groove and go on a run. Here's where the Ravens stand across power rankings. Right-pointing magnifying glass. Get better search results for Ravens content by adding BaltimoreRavens.com to your Google source preferences. M&T Bank Stadium renovations. Baltimore Ravens. BaltimoreRavens.com. The Ravens have always strived to provide a game day experience worthy of the flock, leading to an atmosphere and home field advantage that rivals any sports venue in the world. And over the last few years, we've embarked on several significant projects to evolve the game day and year-round fan offerings at M&T Bank Stadium as we strive to enhance the experience beyond the seat. In addition to substantial developments on the Gator Plaza, every level of the venue will undergo renovations, thus completely transforming the stadium experience for all and ensuring that M&T Bank Stadium remains a world-class NFL and entertainment facility well into the future. Learn more about each of the planned projects below. The Raven BE Future MEMB. This elevated club experience at field level will feature thematic touches related to the team's namesake, the poem The Raven. The trust presented by M&T Bank BE Future MEMB are an ultra-premium field-level club with unique team access. The trust will offer a lounge-like atmosphere with design touches reminiscent of early 1900s Baltimore Banks Champions Club presented by T. Rowe Price BE Future MEMB. This field-level space offers a new club experience to fans who want to add a premium option to their game day through a Champions Club membership. Legend Suites presented by T. Rowe Price. Only suite holders can take in the game from 2 rows of seating directly on the field in the west end zone of M&T Bank Stadium, Miller Lite Gatehouse and Roof Deck. W in 2024.